or going to a dentist appointment, and we've got all these problems. I've made some of these videos before to talk about all of the help that I need. And it's because I wrote in my book, Comeback of the Century, that at some point I'm gonna have to get all-on-4 full mouth dental implants. And I talked about the dental work I had done, and I'm glad we had it done. I had no teeth, but I was able to get implant bridge. So I'm able to smile at people, and I still am, but I've got now teeth rotting out on the bottom, decay. A crown has come off in the back from the work that was done by this dentist that just wasn't very good apparently, and this is just getting too costly. These were failing teeth. They should have all been taken out. So I proved to be right sooner, but what are we gonna do? I gotta have someone give me a house so I can sell it, so I can just literally spend all of that cash from one house that's worth $2 million. I was talking about doing the right things with it, putting it into real estate on the mainland, but let's talk about the money I need to spend. This is a $1 million reclamation project. I need to spend at least $1 million now on my teeth, my body, my plastic surgery, getting my man boobs removed, plastic surgery, so I can, and the part of the $1 million I need, I think $1 million is a very liberal number, but we need to be liberal about it because we need padding. And then maybe if there's some left over, we can put that into putting out more flyers, doing more things to own real estate. And then at that point, we have enough cash flow so I can live the life I need, even though my brain has been demented. I can't contribute to society. I can't work, but SSI is not enough for me for the reason I'm going to talk about. But we're going to the dentist now, right across from Pearl Ridge, and this is a historic place for me. So I'm going to talk about all the problems. I need help shopping. I can't shop on my own. I went to buy a shirt at Ross's. I saw that it said 2XL. I got to lose some more weight. Still have to lose 70 pounds. I carry, well, we'll come to that later when it comes to regarding what I do for fitness. And I think you're going to like it, but we need to do more. And I need just so much money to just spend. I need to spend a lot of money. Grant Cardone said, you don't have a spending problem, you have an income problem. But let's talk about how much money I need to spend. I need to have like $1 million right now, and I got to spend it because that's how much my life is worth. I care about having a body. I care about being alive. I care about being alive for a long time, to enjoy using my penis, to enjoy putting my penis in women, to finally have the experiences of lovemaking with a trophy wife. Donald Trump gets a trophy wife. I should too. And because I care about it, I'm just coming around and saying, if I can't spend $1 million today, right now, I'm going to be dead. So somebody has to help me spend $1 million and give me $1 million to spend. Some of it's going to be for immediate, take out all the teeth, put dental implants, because so much of why my teeth are failing has to do with psychiatry. It's going to be plastic surgery and a lot of things. And that's not even how much money I need to structure real estate investments in strip malls and multifamily and apartment buildings in emerging markets on the mainland, so I can still have my cake and eat it too after I spend that $1 million. But I got to spend $1 million. Where are we going to get that money? Well, I don't want to die, so we're going to have to get someone to give me $1 million. $1 million isn't a lot in the grand scheme, but it is to the poor people I'm stuck with. And I'm living in a homeless shelter. And the problem is I'm so repulsed by the autistics, the disabled, the slow, the ugly, and they are put in concentration camps of homeless shelters, and so many of them are actually on psychiatric drugs, and it's an atrocity because they're put on these medications so they can tolerate each other. I can't fall for that, and I have to do everything in my power to stay off of psychiatric medications, because what these medications are for is to basically put me in a concentration camp with my fellow autistics, my fellow slow, my fellow ugly, not the color if it's right, or whatever it is. And I like being around neurotypical, I like being around sexually attractive, I like being around people that are not awkward. And as repulsed as they are by me, if I'm worth enough money and there's some reason for them to be in my life so I don't have to be around autistics and disabled people that make me feel ill because of how they talk and how they look, then that's what society has to hook me up with that money so I don't have to take medication to tolerate my own disability in other people. And by the way, is that fair to me? And is that fair to them? When what it calls for, because of the health effects of the medications we have to take to tolerate each other and how ugly our wives have to be, we're dying earlier because of it. You know, but maybe they have to hook us up with the Donald Trump life package, because being born that way makes you, in today's world, fundamentally the kind of psychopath that you have to feel bad for. But what choice do you have if you're a slow person that has the right attraction to the right look, the right sound, the right grace? Kelly Simek dancing between the two screens on KHON2, that's eugenic discernment. She's very beautiful. And you want to be inside of that sexually in her genital with your genital. So I need help brushing my teeth. I need help shopping. I can't shop on my own because of my cognitive issues. A lot of it just has to do with how backlogged my head is. There's always this backlog going through my head. It's never clear. It can't be, because there's always a list going through my head. Now, what can we do about this? And this brings me, because we're running out of time, let's go to a big point. Instead of these little things, listing out these little things, even though listing out the little things do matter. The big point is cognitive psychology is economics. And you can say what you want about IQ, but I think Donald Trump is actually proof that someone with a very low IQ and probably cerebral palsy, because he had butlers. I was talking about having butlers when I was in elementary school. If I had 5 people that were not skills trainers trying to force me to be a good community contributor, like they say, and I just knew I needed to be taking from society only. I can't contribute. I don't have the cognitive wherewithal. I need to be a trust fund baby. So schools were always trying to force on me, you know, general learner outcomes, community contributor, share, you know, that's for poor people. I need to be rich. I need servants, not skills trainers. So I just knew I needed butlers. But if I had like 5 butlers that all did kind of different things or worked in rotation with me, and I could tell them, get this going, get that going, you know, and people that were focused on my smell, people that were focused on my not having soot on my skin and my hygiene, people that were focused on my dental. Every day, at least once a day, someone inspects my teeth, looks at it, and when I get my teeth cleaned, whether it's once a day or twice a day, I don't brush my teeth with a Sonicare. I don't brush my teeth with a handheld toothbrush, because I'm so rich and my body's worth so much, like Donald Trump. An appointment is made maybe as much as twice a day for me to sit in a dental hygienist's chair, and in fact, the best dentists in New York clean my teeth. Everybody else brushes their own teeth, and once every 6 months they get a teeth cleaning by a dentist. I get it twice a day. That's how important my teeth are. That's how important my body is to make these public appearances. And that's why it's important to be maintained. And I have the money to spend on it. But right now, because of how backlogged, just like day-to-day cognition, the head is, or the life is, in terms of, you know, this is how many years you have to live. Let's do like 5 for fighting. You've got 100 years to live. This is how much of it we'll live. This is how developmentally behind we are because of psychiatry, because of society's failure to give me what I needed from the beginning, which was not skills trainers, but servants. I said, I don't want socioeconomically appropriate skills training. You know, I want servants. And we'll come back to this.